the next question from Felix. So Felix, one of your in my opinion, one of your most unique characteristic of what you're doing, being successful and all that, apart from being a good friend, you are one of the few DECRA fellow in marketing in Australia. If I'm not wrong, there are less than 3 people who are the DECRA fellow in marketing in Australia. So we want to hear from your experience, just a very quick, maybe 2 minutes, about how a PhD candidate can prepare themselves for being a DECRA fellow in terms of the publication, please.
Yes. To be honest, I don't have the exact answer for that. I do feel very happy to get this, to get this funding, this fellowship. But I guess from my side, from my experience, there are a few things that I think that make a difference. I guess in my case, like one, timing matters. So one of the reason I would say, like when I applied, it was during COVID. Like that's the first year of COVID. And at that point of time, actually ARC provided an additional rule, basically saying, like, for DECRA, essentially you have to be, you can only apply twice. And then it has to be within 5 or 6 years, I think 5 years of following your PhD, right? So essentially timing, you need to apply, you cannot apply every year because you can only apply twice. So everyone tried to apply in the time where they think they have the best expertise, essentially, or they have the best portfolio. But that year, because of COVID, the ARC basically have a rule saying, like, if this is your last year, you can actually apply next year because of COVID. So at that point of time, actually, like when I had a chat with the research office, basically they say, like, well, given this, actually, we know that next year will be really difficult because everyone will wait for next year. So if people who feel ready to apply this year will be actually less difficult. And based on statistics, that is actually true, because, like, the following year after I got my DECRA, the percentage of people who actually get the funding actually less, because basically DECRA, I think they only provide 200 every year. Is that, I think, 200 every year, but like there are more people applying the following year, essentially. So like I'm just saying, like, there's also timing. So I am lucky. That's one. But from my side, I guess what I prepare, essentially, like, I think it's important to actually have it's back to what Catherine mentioned, and I also mentioned at the very beginning, like the branding, because like with this funding, essentially the money comes from the government, right? So they are very risk averse. So the only way you can kind of like try to convince them, obviously if you are senior professors, you can that's slightly different, right? Because you have shown something. But as an early career, how you can show them is actually from what you have done. So if you apply in an area that is completely new, they wouldn't give it to you, because like why would they give hundreds and thousands of dollars to give money to you in an area that you haven't done before? So I think this is when this personal branding and area of expertise become very, very important, because that's when you can convince the reviewer. That's also when you can convince the people on the panel that, like, yes, if I give money to this person, if I give funding, there is high chance that this person, he or she, would be able to do what they propose in the project. So I think first of all, I just want to say, like, I think I got lucky, that's timing wise. But secondly, I think this is when you need to work hard, but also you need to strategize in a specific area, build your brand, because this is when it matters. This is when you can show that, like, you can trust me to do this project because I have done these methods before, because I have done this area before, and all those things.
Thank you, Felix. So I just want to apologize for interrupt there.
No problem.
So the timing is very important, as you mentioned there, and also the brand image of your methodology. Now, you're my very good friend, be to my house and all that. Shall I ask more questions? But please don't hate me, okay? Now, your DECRA, if I'm not wrong, you can correct me, is around the lab meet, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think picking that topic, the lab meat, is it help you? So my question here is about the topic now that you pick. You earlier on talk about the brand name, the brand image of you, but the topic of the DECRA that you pick is a lab meat that is seem to be very important for the government to do research in the future. Do you think this specific topic helped you or not? And what were some of the strategies that you used to pick this topic?
Yeah. First, I just want to clarify my topic is actually the role of emotion in marketing lab meat. So technically speaking, what I sell is not the lab meat. What I sell is the emotion, which I have been doing. So that's kind of like highlighting like why the brand name and expertise is important, because I don't see my topic as a lab meat per se, but it's more that is a context. What I sell, my expertise in the context of emotion, right? So that's one. About the lab meat, yes, it is the topic itself, it's quite interesting because the idea is like the technology is there. I think like in Australia, I read news like I think soon they will be try to, you know, like sell it to the public. But the problem is like the technology is there, but but it's still very expensive. To push the price to get cheaper, which means that like one, you need to put more funding. The second one as well, it means that you need to grow the demand. And the problem is there is not enough demand. And how to market those, right? So it is a marketing problem. It's not anymore engineering problem. Yes, you need engineer, you need scientists to do that, but it's already there. What is also important now is actually the market. So that's one. But to address your question, actually, like I just want to say, I think it's because of my expertise as well on emotion, not really lab meat per se.
Thank you so much, Felix.